Mikee P, Mike Barbozzi back in the Money Players podcast. Special edition show this week, Friday, Saratoga. We're going to look at the late pick 5. And this show is sponsored by Twinspires.com and the contest, Twinspires tournaments that go on every day at Twinspires. A man that frequents those contests is Chris Cupples. Chris, I know you love the contest. I know you love Saratoga. So we're going to do a little contest promo and maybe a little handicapping for Friday.
Yeah, I love to get involved in their contest. Could be Ellis, Saratoga, cash, qualifiers. There's a little something for everybody at any level. So.
Speaking of the contest, if you go to twinspires.com and click on that tournament tab, you can check out all the contests this week and weekend. You got Saratoga, you have different cash levels, you have feeders looking towards that Mint Millions betting challenge on September 6th. You have contests for Colonial there on Friday and Saturday. Arlington Million Challenge there on Saturday. A $600 Saratoga Arlington Million MMBC qualifier also on Saturday. So plenty of huge contests available this weekend and beyond. If you look, there's a Kings Plate contest next week and has KDBC seats involved, NHC seats. So like Chris said, different levels, different contests, lots of big racetracks involved. Twinspires.com has it for everyone. So jump on to Twinspires.com, go to the tournaments tab and get involved in those contests. Well, Chris, we're going to look at Saratoga for Friday, and it's a late pick 5 that they have going on there. We'll look at the last 5 races. You were telling me offline that the sequence is very difficult, and it might be one that may be better to play a contest because you could focus on different plays, different races, whereas trying to get all 5 of them right could be very challenging.
Yeah, three of the late 5 races are maiden special weights, and you're lacking some information, but there's a lot of good information to be had. Hopefully we can snuff out something to help you add one or help you toss one. But I could definitely make a case for playing in the contest scene, picking you out 1 or 2 spots to play heavy. And, you know, if you can't have a strong opinion somewhere to build a late pick 5, the contests are going to be the way to go.
Well, let's go to race 6 on Friday at Saratoga. It starts at 4:06 here if you're looking late pick 5. Like you mentioned, this is a main special weight here for 2-year-olds, Chris. And it's one of those restricted main specials. Horses that were sold or RNA'd for $60,000 in their most recent sales. Get some of those lower priced yearlings and priced sale horses in against each other to start 6 furlongs. Chris, kick it off here.
Definitely probably one of the most volatile races of the sequence. You can make a case for everybody. The 1 is one I really don't have to have any kind of use at all for. The 2 would be an A, Escape Hall. It's George Weaver, Saez. Connections are going to take money just based on their 2-year-old success at Saratoga and elsewhere. That horse has been best over a couple older horses, working well in the mornings. You can make a case for the 3. I'm going to toss and has the most experience here. He's ran well at Monmouth, comes to Saratoga, going to get a little tougher for Delgado. The 4 is somewhat interesting. I would be using as a B. This horse took some money on debut. Johnny V sticks around. It's got all these bullets on the page, but there's no work videos. There's nothing on the workout report I'm aware of. But certainly on the backside, it must have some chatter to take that money the first time. The 6, Empire's King, is definitely a big use for me here. Outworked a 4-year-old claimer, but, you know, older horse has looked good, had a start, kind of chased, you know, Ewing on that on the slow track day at Saratoga. I've heard some people talk about Ewing took a step backwards. I don't know if that's really the case because the track was so slow on July 5th. I don't really take those figures too seriously. 7, Jolted, is one I think will be a price that's going to be an A and maybe a win bet for me. This horse worked 3 or 4 times at Keeneland that I've seen videos on, worked well every time, went easily. They shipped this horse up. Beckman is 3 for 12 with 2-year-old first-timers. He's not sending this horse to Saratoga for no reason. Tactics definitely would be an A used just based off Pletcher, Irad. I'm probably going to fade this to a B if I play a multi-race sequence just because from a value standpoint, draws the outside. And I thought the OBS work kind of looked a little turfy. It was climbing, which, you know, that's been months ago. So probably has improved by then.
Now, Chris, I know you put a lot of time and effort into watching these workouts. Some of the pedigrees in here, especially for 2-year-olds, are a little bit suspect. I mean, the 2 is 0 for 12 with debuting 2-year-olds. The 7 has a 3% 2-year-old, gets 3% winners there. The 8 is another one, 0 for 5 with debuting 2-year-olds. So does that come into consideration? Are you looking more at the individual whenever you're, making your decisions?
In a race like this, I'm not looking to buy them. So at this point, if I can see videos on them and I can use the trainer percentages, trainer intent, I'm not as concerned about pedigree. You could give me one that's 3 or 4 workout videos that looks awful, and I don't care how roly bred they are at this point. They're showing me that they like a lot of development to be a racehorse. So the work's the primary spot I'm going to.
Interesting. I know you said you were fading the 3 Bod Beach, but this is the kind of horse that I do like a little bit. The fact that they showed up here, they get a restricted maiden special weight, and I do think that is important. I wouldn't like this horse if it was open types, but if you watch that last race, this horse was game the entire way around. Now, I know it was Paco, but this horse was speedy, got dogged by the favorite early, put that one away, and then had to try to fend off and ultimately got beat an inch by the winner there. That slingshot off the turn and really just came full of run. This one dug in late, and really, I like horses that fight back. This horse's 3rd time now. They obviously have some confidence. They're shipping here. They get this restricted spot. So I realize that these are first-timers with lots of big barns, but this would be a horse that I do think is speedy and interesting if can improve a little bit in the race. So I don't mind the 3 a little bit, Bod Beach. The other ones, I will defer to you and your eye as far as the workouts go in race number 6 on Friday.
And I will
go to race 7. Go ahead, Chris.
There, Mike. One thing I missed earlier is I didn't realize that horse was owned by Delgado also. That kind of is a little bump up for me as well, because wasn't nobody involved in making the decision process to ship but Delgado himself. So,
right. Go to race 7, go the grass. And this is another maiden special weight. You mentioned we're loaded with them. This is on the inner. And these are horses that that definitely have some more experience here. I do think that the 1 will probably take some money in this spot. I was looking to the inside. The 2, Salamis, I think, has faced really tough horses. I mean, faced Tuck's first time out on the dirt. That was a live race. And then, ran into Dublin's Night, World Beater, and that Keeneland made special weight. I mean, World Beater came back to win the Grade 1 this weekend. So that horse has been in tough. Now it comes back for Brown. You get Pratt, inside post. Just needs to be a little bit speedier, I think. And then the 3 I thought was interesting. Another one that has faced toughies. The last race, couple came out of that race to win. Shows up here now, has had some time off, was speedy at 3. Now, first time 4-year-old here. Could be speedy in this race here. I mean, made the lead from the 12-hole at Gulfstream first time out. This one could be the one to catch. So I was going to be light. I think the 2 and the 3 are the uses. Where'd you end up?
100% agree on both of those. And I could even add to the strong case you make on Salamis. Dublin's Night, the horse that beat World Beater, is the horse that I was on from the get-go. Hopefully see him surface back soon. The Preddy horse, like you said, from the wide post. And he sent that horse to clear from out there and then ran on and ran a good race, getting beat by a Lightning. The 3rd place finisher, Beach Gold, is the horse that won one of the Kentucky Down winning your in races at Ellis this past weekend, setting a new track record. The Apalta, there was an interesting stat there for Pletcher, 2nd-time starters, turf routes at Saratoga with IRAD, 3 for 5, and the 2 that didn't win ran 2nd and 3rd. I know this horse didn't take a lot of money for those connections on debut, so I'm thinking that was just a prep to lead to this turf route. So I'm definitely using that horse, prominently with the other 2 in multis, and that would be enough for me. I thought the 8 was a little bit interesting, but ultimately I kind of tossed out.
Go to race 8, and we're going to go to the grass again, to the melon this time. Grade 2. Boston Spa Stakes, and we were talking offline a little. I said, I like a horse in this race. I want to see what you come up with first here, Chris, and to see if you agree with me. Pretty nice set of, mares here. This is older mares, 4s and up. Who you like?
Well, I'll start the conversation with 2 that I'm not going to use at A's, and that's going to be the 2 Saffy runners. Be Your Best is the class of this field, but Andy, this is a stat I've had for a while now that I've used, and Andy Serling said it this weekend on TV. So I imagine it's got around after this weekend. Safi turf routing at Saratoga the last 5 years and now 0 for 47. He's got 2 shots in here, so maybe this is his day. But I'm going to fade both of those. The 2 Whiskey Decision is going to be my top pick. Chad had 2 runners coming off a layoff last time in that grade 3 at Monmouth. This one did kind of get a perfect trip, but was by far the best. Sammy Camacho was underrated, really. I think if he came to Saratoga in this tough colony, he would sneak up and win a few races. He sat patiently while everybody else was riding, got the dream trip at the rail, but was still much best. Those other horses had no excuse. I'm going to use both of the Chads. The Go Maggie Go horse was no match for Whiskey Decision late, but did run well. Flavian Sticks there. And the other horse I thought was interesting was Oceans Club. This horse has been around, got plenty of starts, probably got more experience than anybody in the field. I didn't exactly count those up. Finally got that graded stakes win last time at Woodbine. Ships down here. Santana's hot. This horse is not, it says Change Barns, but Thomas Proctor's had this horse before. This horse is running some tough spots.
I was hoping that you would like this horse because I agree completely. This is I like Whiskey Decision quite a bit here. 6-1 morning line, and you saw what I saw if you watched that Monmouth race. I know that she was able to come up the rail there, but she was much best, like you said. She was going away late. She was never losing, and really looked like she had more to give. And then if you look, the 3 out of that's back in here came back and won the race up here, the De La Rose there on July the 10th. So I just think that this horse maybe is improved at 4. I think this horse plays very well in Maltese here, especially when you include, you see horses like Be Your Best 9-5 morning line. There's other horses in here where money can go. I think the 6 will take money also. So, and even probably Deep Satin. I mean, that horse was bet really uncharacteristically last time. Also, a lot of people couldn't believe that this one took as much money as it did, and the trip that it got to just get up and I think that one takes money also. I really like Whiskey Decision in this race. I think she has a huge chance to, if she goes second up at 4 years old and improves off of last, the rest of these are going to be in trouble. And I agree with Be Your Best. There's enough speed in the race, I think, to set it up for others in here. Horses like the 4 could go. The 5 certainly wants to go. The 6, last time it looked like that she wanted to go early, and Pratt ran with her back in that race. She certainly took a ton of money for Brown there, coming off those Argentina lines. This is a nice race. I really like this race, and I really hope Whiskey Decision gets the right trip in here with Manny. I do think that one presents value there in the Boston spot on Friday.
Yeah, and from a contest standpoint, this horse is going to be a great price with Pratt on the other. I think you have to play a minimum of 5 races. I think this horse is going to be enough of a price. You could play 2 minimums, get out of the way, and wait for this one and possibly win the contest in one lit.
Certainly one that we will definitely be looking to play on Friday at Saratoga. Race 9, straight 3s, and this is 32 claimers going 6 furlongs. Chris, some of these horses have been facing older. This race, I'm not really sure where to go in here. I think that there's a few that are pretty big tosses. Where'd you end up?
I'm using the 1, 2, and 7. There's other horses in there going to take money like Uncle Jim. I've had enough of Uncle Jim. I have friends that have been high on this horse that even made future Derby wagers on this horse. I've never liked him and think he's overrated. So maybe that puts him in the winner's circle. The 4 was claimed from Linda. That's not a move I'm looking for. That horse is going to take money. I'm primarily going to be the 1. The 2 is my top pick. I got Linda, Lascano, claiming ranks. They are tough. And I also like the 7 outside. I've not seen any work since this one was gelded. But my angle here, this horse wants the lead. It's not fast enough to get the lead, but Jose can keep this horse outside, not taking any dirt, and get that first run on whoever is leading. I would definitely not want to leave that one off tickets.
Yeah, Barnes certainly sharp. Also 7 wins at the meet and gets a drop. I agree. I was inside the 1 and the 2. The 1 stormed the streets. Was claimed 2 back by the David Barnes, stepped up and raced very well at Ellis the last time. Now you get actually it was a trainer change here. It was Diodoro that had this one, and now you get Carlos David. 20% on the year, very sharp claiming barn. So tough to kind of claim off Diodoro or, to get a horse off of that one. But I do think that horse plays very well in here. Last 3 races have been against older horses. So now you get straight 3s at the proper level, I think is a must use. And then you mentioned it too, Consider It Done. And it's Linda. Tried some state bred allowance races. And really last time, if you throw that race out, this horse looks a lot better, especially that May 23rd line up close, 79 buyer there. I imagine we'll be up close again. This is the A team for Linda. You got Linda, you got, Jose Lascano. I do think probably gets the right trip. So we'll see. That one's a bit hit and miss. So I was 1-2. I definitely could understand your 7 in that race. Go to last to finish another maiden special here, Chris. Mount on the turf. I thought maybe you could get a little bit of a price in here. How are we going to get paid?
I'm going to use 2 and fade a lot that are going to be short prices. I'm only going to use the 8 and 9 in multis and take my chances. If I get beat, I get beat. The 9 would be my top pick. This horse ran on debut August of last year to Concord Green and Davy Crockett. Davy Crockett was a horse that I bet twice. Second time, got me paid. Super nice horse. Hope to see that one surface again at some point. Came back again. Didn't run as well, but that first start kind of got buried inside. Made a big run late through traffic. Showed lots of talent. Ran that second time, didn't do well. They put this one out to pasture, comes back here, get Lasix, working well again on the turf. The 8 for Morley, who does not win first out. This horse didn't take any money on debut, and Junior sticks around to ride it again. But this horse did some running out wide, was a little bit green in the stretch. If this horse improves, is a serious player in this race. There's other horses in here that definitely can win. They'll just have to do it without me.
I agree on the 8. That's my top pick there. Wicked Improbable. If you look at the mare there, Baphomet, that's a pretty nice turf horse there. Interesting that they bred to Improbable, but they paid $125 for that one. And I didn't mind the first race. There's a lot of the points you made are definitely very relevant in here. And I do think probably will improve in this spot. I thought the 7 was a little interesting. Uncle's Gold. Now, it's a first timer here. But this horse has some breeding for a barn that can pop first time out. It has a 222 ROI first time out, 13% there. First grass, also this barn does extremely well. In a race that I don't really like many of the other horses that are in this race. This horse is working very well. And it's interesting that they show up here at the spot. This horse, the barn's been very live. I mean, really, 10 starts, you had 2 wins, 4 seconds, 2/3. So everything that they're bringing up here is very, very live. So I think at 15-1 morning line, this is a horse that I want to use in multis. And then I thought the 5 had a chance here. This one's a Pletcher. It's Pratt, which is a rare Pletcher. Pletcher doesn't really ride Pratt all that often. You get blinkers, you get Lasix. They paid $450 for that one, but it's the mare here that I'm looking at. And that one has produced several turf runners. If you look, Air Force Blue was a horse that was a grade 1 winner on the grass there over in Ireland out of this mare for Aidan O'Brien, and then has produced other turf winners, turf stakes performers. There's a horse that this one produced as a 4-year-old now, a Warfighter that just galloped in a maiden special weight. So there's a lot to look with pedigree here. Hasn't performed so far in 3 starts, but now fresh 3-year-old here. You're getting the Lasix, blinkers, Pratt. All signs say, hey, I'm going to show up here. And if you look back at this one's lines on the dirt, faced Ferocious first time out. I mean, faced horses like Prater. So, I mean, what was that horse going to do in that race? I think it's the right spot here on the turf. And they're certainly trying. This is all systems go for the 5. So I would definitely have 5 on tickets there. 5, 7, and 8 would be my 3 big leans for the last on Friday.
Yeah, and to make
Chris, final thought.
Yeah, I was going to add one thing to there that kind of got me to the 7 over your 5 is Johnny V was named on that. Well, he rode the 5 last year and then was named on the 5 back on July 27th on off the turf. And he was supposed to ride that day. And then I would assume he would have got first call to ride this horse back here today. And he also went to this Drum Battle horse. Ultimately, it made me kind of fade both of them. But if you like the 5, I think you have to like the 7 a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a nice race to finish up for sure. I do think that again, there's some prices abound there. Really difficult race, and I'm sure the 3 is going to take money in there too. So lots of potential, I think, in that last race at Saratoga on Friday. Well, Chris, obviously you're a big fan of Twinspires contest. I'd love to get you in for these segments, and I know that you do a lot of work, especially on these maidens. So final thoughts for Friday. You think you'll jump in on one of these Twinspires contests?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll at least play one entry, and probably going to look at playing the horse we talked about in the 8th would be my primarily go-to.
Well, this has been a production of In the Money Media. Definitely get on Twinspires. Check out all the valuable contests that we have this weekend. Look at Colonial. Look at that Arlington Million card. There's plenty of contests going on there. Look at these Saratoga feeders here for that big Mint Millions betting challenge. That's going to be the next major, and you can get the KDBC seats, BCBC seats. Everybody is going to be looking for those. Breeders' Cup isn't that far away. Chris, appreciate having you, and we'll see you all next time.